independent hoe, I'm all about my business. I consistently continue to bring energy and known to keep it popping like I'm full of electricity. Try to hold me out, I wish you would have the audacity. Take a reflexive, now I'm shitting on the industry. Self-made, not a title, cause it's my identity. And wear it on my skin like it's a part of my ethnicity. Mary keep on blowing like instruments in a symphony. That keep a player buzzing like Twitter when you mention me. Being 100's a everyday living tendency. And ain't faced by hating, it makes me increase my intensity.
YouTube world, what is good? What it do, everybody? Long time no see. I know it's been a while since your boy been up in action, but we getting back to 100%, feeling bit better. Had to come with y'all with a little video as we're coming at the post game, talking about the Mavs and Warriors, as this was a shellacking took from the Mavs, as they really got beat down. They got handled from the jump. Wasn't nothing that they could do about it. When you turn over the ball as many times as they did, it was something not to, something that we wouldn't like to see, but it's something that happened. It is what it is. But in all, the Mavericks, all you're asking them is just to stay afloat of what's going on right now, because we all know they're up a long hill battle, as we know was getting ready to transpire here Tuesday. It is what it is, but we'll be along to watch it along and see how Luka, basically exacts his revenge in the way we know he should. But at the same time, looking back over this game, man, the Mavs came out. They came out and gave you a good little punch. But other than that, Warriors made the timeout, and after that, they just never looked back. What just really killed the Mavericks was just their turnovers. A lot of turnovers that happened for the Mavericks today. And that type of basketball, when you're turning over the basketball on the road, and even though the foul discrepancy looked like it got closer toward the end, a lot of the whistles that the Mavericks were getting were they were some ticky-tack iffy calls. Didn't know how we should really go about it, but at the same time, all you're asking for the Mavericks to do is just keep fighting, finding ways to do anything until you can get any positivity to come about. If you're still trying to play your way and trying to stay afloat, especially in that playing range, because that's all you can ask the Mavericks to do. Tough night tonight, but I think a lot of this media stuff and after Tuesday, because people weren't even that much worried about what was going on. Everybody still focused on Tuesday. Although the fact of the matter was, Golden State came out with a great defensive game plan. They made sure that, which is going to be a blueprint for everything coming out for while the Mavericks are banged up. You have to make sure you neutralize, slow down Kyrie Irving, and put the onus on everybody else. Klay Thompson really didn't give you nothing. That hurt you. But let's go ahead and look into the box score for your boy one time. Let's see what happened in the box score sheet. Let me bring this up. Let's do it. So, like you said, you got 17 from PJ Washington. He kind of struggled doing that, but he still gave you good quality play at the same time. The game just got out of their way, and they couldn't really never catch back up. Klay Thompson gave you 11, but it was a quiet 11. He hit a couple shots. They tried to hit shots to come back within and make it a game, but it was just something that couldn't handle. Max Christie, his first bad game as a Maverick. As you see, he only put up 2 points. Their game plan was good. They neutralized him as well. They made sure they made it rough for him. But Spencer Dinwiddie, if you're going to tell me Spencer Dinwiddie, Najee Marshall, and Max Christie, all they're going to give you is a combination of 14 points, and you're going to turn over the ball 18 times, that's not a good recipe for success, especially on the road against Golden State, even if Golden State is undersized and we don't have the bodies there. Come on now. Y'all got to give us more than that. Jaden Hardy came to the party and he gave you 11 points. So a lot of this going forward is just, look, you're going to have to figure out what you're going to get. Max Christie is fine. He's been balling since he's came here. I look forward for him to, in a night that's going to be drama-filled Tuesday, I look for him to actually try to get himself a good night going back to L.A. Spencer Dinwiddie, we're going to need one of them nights from you when we go Tuesday, but bruh. I mean, 3 points, 9 from Najee. Come on, y'all. Y'all got to give me better than that. Omax, if you can give him some more minutes, that's going to be helpful. Because Moses Brown, he gave you 7 points, but it's really rough out there for him. And that dude can't jump for nothing. Can't jump for nothing. Let's go look at the box scores. You look at the first quarter. The first quarter was really the quarter that doomed the Mavericks. They got back into their traditional plan where they have one of those bad quarters. Now, normally it's to end the half or it's one of those to end the game type thing. This started out from the beginning where you only put up 18 points in the first quarter. That doomed you from there. And then you kept turning over the basketball on the road. 18 turnovers, that's not going to get it. That's not going to get it. And the Mavericks are in a position right now where you have the smallest, the thinnest room for error. You cannot be turning over the basketball. It don't matter if you're playing Golden State or if you're about to play the Lakers or if you're going to play the Hornets or if you're playing the Pelicans, whoever. If you turning over the basketball, damn sure on the road, you're putting a lot of onus on getting a L, because that's normally what happens. You give up 60 points in the paint, something that you're going to continue seeing. The Mavs are just undersized. Great call by Golden State this go around. They didn't settle for too many jump shots. They went and they attacked the Mavericks. Now, you like to see us do, but shooting wise, it wasn't too bad. As you look, it wasn't too bad for both teams going in there. It's just the Mavericks. You give up 18 turnovers, which leads to a lot of fast break points, and that's really what ultimately doomed the Mavericks, where they couldn't keep the game close enough. They cut half of those turnovers, they probably lose the game, but at the same time, they're in a competitive situation. They're in a competitive situation now. That drops them back and that moves Golden State a little bit closer to the Mavericks into that eighth seed. And long as, like I said, the Mavericks just got to find a way to still hold on firm for these next couple of weeks until they can get some really good news. It was reported that, Derek Lively, we don't know about him, but it's our big guys are at least out there participating in some pregame things. They're out there on the floor. So that's some things that, hey, I will take to the bank. I got to take everything I can get right now. Everything I can get. Okay, so we got that out the way. Let's go ahead and listen to a little bit of what Jason Kidd had to say from my man Grant Afsep. Let's see if we can see the tone of what they feel basically and what's going to transpire as they get ready for the Los Angeles Lakers here Tuesday. Let's bring this clip up real quick. All right, let's play.
Started 9-4 in the first quarter. They go on a 16-0 run. Just what you
recapping about the game
they were doing that kind of made things difficult for you.
Yeah, just their movement. We had some good looks there that we just didn't capitalize on, and they took advantage of some of the miscues defensively, and they went on that run. We just didn't close quarters well this afternoon.
Like I said, give Golden State their props. They had a great game plan, and they switched it up and they executed it well, and the Mavs just couldn't adjust, and they just really couldn't handle it.
Well, we had some good looks. Again, the transition defense, we got to be better. We're crashing. We're stuck in between crashing and not crashing, so we have to be better in the transition game.
And it's hard to be good in transition when you turning over the basketball 18 times. That's rough. That's rough. That sets your defense up even worse because you're turning it over.
How do you clean up some of those turnovers? I know you guys had 18 tonight.
Yeah, this group has been known to take care of the ball, and this afternoon we just didn't do that. We got to be better with that. Going into the next game, we have to be better at taking care of the ball.
To at least give yourself a shot. You cannot be turning over the basket. Like I said, the Mavericks have thin room for error. They can't be doing that.
When Steph Curry is getting it going like that tonight, Jason, how difficult it is to slow down this team?
Well, he's one of the best players in the world, and he got going this afternoon behind the arc and also getting to the basket. But I thought early on we were doing a good job, but once you relax on him, he's going to get the better of you, and he did that this afternoon.
And it just went downhill from there. It's just the Mavs just really couldn't really recover. It's not that Steph Curry really had that amazing night today. It wasn't really like that. It's just the game plan for Golden State just worked perfectly defensively, and it got Golden State easy transition buckets, and they lived in the paint, which they didn't settle for too many jump shots.
Jason, what about how much of a difference has Jimmy Butler made since he's come to the team as far as just changing the whole dynamic for the Warriors?
Yeah, I think they're playing extremely well. Butler brings that championship mentality. He's physical. He's a guy that they can post. He can play on the perimeter, and then also his ability to pass. And so it's a big pickup for them.
And, everybody's trying to get used to having their new players. The Lakers are getting it with Luka, Jimmy Butler with the Golden State, but we only had 3 quarters with Anthony Davis, and we got to wait a long time just to get him acclimated. It's rough out here.
What did the Warriors do differently this afternoon than the team you faced right before the break?
Yeah, this was, we just played them. And so they came out aggressive, and they hit us, and we just never could recover from that.
And that's basically what I'm saying right here, right now. They had a great game plan. They executed, and they did damage. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. They handled the Mavs. They handled them at home. They played great defense. They neutralized Kyrie. Klay Thompson couldn't do nothing for you. Therefore, everybody else struggled. They were undersized, so they committed a lot of fouls. They gave up a lot of points in the paint. They turned over the basketball. And you're on the road. That's just a recipe to get your ass whooped. And that's really what happened to the Mavericks. Now, before we sign off, Big Talk went to Kyrie Irving, and basically, what is it going to be like when he gets ready to face Luka Doncic here Tuesday in L.A.? My man Grant also with the recording on this. Big props to him. Y'all should give him a follow on All Basketball League. But let's get into it, what Kyrie had to say.
Obviously, it's going to be a unique situation next game. Do you have a feel for what you guys are walking into in LA with the
do you know what you walking into? Bruh, you're talking to, first of all, you're talking to a player who has played home games with the crowd being disruptive, protesting outside. Come on, man. To say, do you know what you're walking into? They have been walking through hell all last 2 weeks. And it's not even their fault. This is the reason why I'm still going hard for the Mavericks. This is why the biggest reason, because it's the players. They have nothing to do with this, but they still keep trying to fight hard. But to know what they're walking into, man, they've been walking through hell here the last couple of weeks. What's going to be worse than going into L.A. knowing that Luka's about to drop 40?
Luka for the first time since the trade and all that kind of thing.
You said, do we have a feel for it?
What do you in?
You see what I'm saying? A feel for it. Bro, the last 2 weeks have been hell for these players. It's not a home environment for them here. Everybody talking about, how dumb the organization is to their own. That's the own organization's fault. But all of that is going on. Come on, man.
Anticipating in terms of kind of atmosphere or the feel of that game.
High level basketball game. A lot of good players on the floor at once. Outside of just the obvious of us being being in LA and being a former team, of Luka's, obviously the narrative's already written. I don't know what else I could really add to that. I'm pretty much focused and telling my guys just to focus on the high level game that we got to win. I would love to get into the motions after the game with you, but before the game, it's just about having fun and making sure that we lock in and have a deep focus. They're going to come in, and be ready to play against us. Luka's obviously going to have a lot of confidence. That game, he played well last game, so he's feeling good, and we just got to be aware of it.
Bruh, to ask these dudes, bruh, home hasn't been home for them. Home has not been home for them. It hasn't. So they've been walking through hell, and all they can do is just compete. That's all they can do. Hopefully after this game Tuesday, it can get back to just being basketball for a good moment, because you won't see Luka until the end of the season. And hopefully your team is totally different then, and they're way more healthy then. That's what we're hoping for. That's what we're hoping for, and that's hoping what we're getting. But it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough for them. If the Lakers are smart, they know, look, you got to attack the Mavericks inside. You just got to attack them inside more than anything, and that's going to be happening. If you're the Mavericks, Luka's going to be Luka, but you got to try to neutralize everybody else. Make sure Austin Reeves don't eat, and you got to make sure LeBron James is neutralized to the most point. But Luka getting off, I think that's make him at least work for it, but it's going to be an easy 35-plus night just because he's that motivated. And I think the Lakers are going to let him have his way, basically let him orchestrate everything to do what he needs to do. But if you're the Mavericks, if that's going to happen, you got to neutralize everybody else. Austin Reeves can't hit. The other guy can't hit. They got to be on point, and they got to just take care of the basketball and just continue to try to attack with what they have. And I'm not saying it's going to be all right, but all they got to do is just keep holding down the fort until they can get healthy, till they can get a couple of bigs back. Then we'll get some things going. So it was a rough one for the Mavs tonight. It's going to be a rough one Tuesday night, but hey, we'll be here. We'll make sure we'll get to watch along, because it'll be a 9:00 game. So we'll do that. Have some fun up in here. Out of that, I'll bring y'all some more DFW sports clips coming on as I'm getting ready to watch the Stars here as they get ready to take on the Blues. So we'll have us some fun. Actually, it's the Islanders. Pardon me. But we'll have us some fun here. Hope y'all like, subscribe, hit that notification chime on your video one time. If you're watching this, make sure you drop a comment. Tell me how you feel about the Mavs going forward as they try to stay in contention until the Cavalry can get here. But we all know it's going to be a lot of things going until Tuesday. But I will see y'all then, man. Do everything with love, because love always wins. That's law. I'm out, y'all.
Self-made independent hoe, I'm all about my businesses. I consistently continue to bring energy and on that keep it popping like I'm full of electricity. Try to hold me out, I wish you would have the audacity. Take a rap laxative, now I'm shitting on the industry. Self-made not a title, cause it's my identity, and wear it on my skin like it's a part of my ethnicity. Mary keep on blowing like instruments in a symphony. That keep a player buzzing like Twitter when you mention me. Being 100's a everyday living tendency, and ain't faced by hating, it makes me increase my intensity.